Okay, question number 9. I think this is chapter third of that asset allocation, right? I think chapter मतलब total chapter number 5 होगा ये, वो real world concern वाला chapter. Which of the statements regarding tactical asset allocation? What is tactical asset allocation? Tactical asset allocation is like you are given the I mean you have the strategic weights which are required to achieve your long-term objective or which will have a higher chance of achieving your long-term objectives. Important, huh? SAA. Strategic asset allocation also called as policy weights. If you keep your portfolio rebalanced to those strategic weights, you will have a higher chance of achieving your objectives. Okay, and TA is tactical asset allocation for maybe some short-term opportunities. You want to deviate away from your strategic weights. Okay, so to benefit from that short-term opportunities. So that's the TA tactical asset allocation. So statement one, Sharpe ratio is suitable for measuring success of TA. Absolutely correct. What you need to look at is Sharpe ratio of TAA should be higher than Sharpe ratio of SAA. जो आपने स्ट्रैटेजिक वेट अगर तुम्हारा जो इंट्यूशन था शॉर्ट टर्म में कि इक्विटी विल गो अप and fixed income will come down. So reduce the weightage of fixed income below the strategic weight and increase the weight of equity above the strategic weight. I repeat, ये जो आपका जो इंट्यूशन था आपको शॉर्ट टर्म अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखी कि इक्विटी इज गोना गो अप इन शॉर्ट टर्म and fixed income is going to crash in the short term. So reduce the weightage of fixed income from the strategic weight to little bit lower and increase the weightage of equity above the strategic weight. This will give you a higher risk adjusted return. That means the Sharpe ratio would be higher than what would have been the Sharpe ratio otherwise. That means Sharpe ratio could increase. So that's what the point is. The Sharpe ratio would be higher than the Sharpe ratio of static allocation. Or you can say the information ratio would be positive. So either you can say information ratio, it's one and same thing. Like you remember the formula, na? Information ratio is equal to Sharpe ratio or Sharpe ratio is equal to Sharpe ratio of benchmark square plus information ratio of portfolio square. Level 1, level 2 wala. So if this Sharpe ratio has to be higher, information ratio has to be positive. So either you say information ratio of TA would be positive, then you say TA tactical selection has been successful, or you say that Sharpe ratio of TAA is greater than Sharpe ratio of SAA. And that's what they mentioned. Either Sharpe ratio is suitable or information is also suitable. I think both the points were there in the Shweta's IPS. I mean, I remember teaching you this. Do you guys remember this? देखते हैं। मुझे मुझे क्लियर याद है स्वेजर में नहीं कि मैंने चेक कर रहा हूँ
I was thinking about the information ratio, sir.
पॉजिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन रेशियो पॉजिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन रेशियो ये वाला कैलकुलेटिंग ये वाला पॉइंट comparing Sharpe ratio of TA with SA, this is one way you will be able to compare whether TA is successful or not, or looking at whether information ratio is positive or not. ये जो T stat, V stat लिखा, that is exactly trying to say statistically whether the information ratio is positive or not. So this is the point that I was talking about it. Is it clear? ये है आपके LO पेज नंबर LOS है 5.D में. Okay, so I mean statement 1 was correct. What was wrong with the statement 2? Discretionary TA attempts to capture asset class level return anomalies that have been showing some predictability, persistence. ये frankly मुझे थोड़ा difficult जा रहा था statement 2. पर statement 3 मेरे लिए easy था delete करना. Simple था statement 3 delete करना. TA allows the manager to change the weightages but within the range. Like for example, weight of equity अगर 30% है और मुझे लग रहा है equity आउट परफॉर्म करेगा तो मैं उसको इंक्रीज कर सकता हूं बट एक रेंज तक, something like this. So I can increase it to 35 if I believe equity will outperform, or I can reduce it to 25 if I believe equity will underperform. I cannot go below 25 or I cannot go above 35. Manager is allowed to deviate IPS classes within upper and lower limit, deviate from the IPS rate is allowed to do within the upper and lower limit. If the shift expected to produce higher expected return, blah blah blah, is deviate from the IPS needs, is allowed to deviate within the upper and lower limit, not from the upper and lower limit. He's not allowed to go outside this. So it's not deviate from the asset upper and lower limit, it's deviate within the upper and lower limit. How many rejected statement 3 properly? Raise and please. Good. Okay. तो statement 3 rejection का expression ऐसा देना था that if manager is positive, he can increase the weightage of that asset class, but can't go above upper limit. And if like negative about that asset class, he can reduce the weight but cannot go below the lower limit. Okay. And second one, ये तुम्हें रिजेक्ट करने के लिए वो जानना पड़ेगा कि टी हैज टू टाइप्स. वन व्हाट वाज आस्क्ड डिस्क्रिशनरी एंड सेकंड वन इज कि आप कुछ मॉडल वर्ड यूज करते हो जिसका नाम मैं भूल गया था. देन आई चेक एंड देन आई रियलाइज इट वाज कॉल्ड एज रूल बेस्ड. तो ये जो है ना परसिस्टेंट प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी, इसका मतलब है वी आर ट्राइंग टू लुक एट सम रूल्स कि सपोर्ट लेवल, रेजिस्टेंस लेवल, वी आर ट्राइंग टू फॉलो सम रूल्स. सो दिस वाज बेसिकली मोर ऑफ रूल बेस्ड एंड नॉट द डिस्क्रिशनरी. एक बार देखते हैं अनोमली वर्ड यूज करके. मुझे इसमें मिला, एंशिएंट बुक में मिला अनोमली वर्ड सर्च करके. और यहाँ पे देखते हैं अनोमली था ना, अनोमली, सॉरी अनोमली. नो इट्स नॉट देयर. अच्छा सिस्टमैटिक था ना, नॉट मोर क्वांटिटी वेज. या प्रेडिक्टेबल, सी प्रेडिक्टेबल strategies and persistence. ओके सो ऑल्दो अनोमली वर्ड नहीं था, बट अगेन ये वर्ड था परसिस्टेंस एंड प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी. ये वर्ड तो मैच हो रहा था श्वेतस के प्रेडिक्टेबल एंड परसिस्टेंस. आई वुड से कि ओके श्वेतस हैड कैप्चर्ड. तो अनोमली वर्ड नहीं आया. अनोमली वर्ड मुझे मिला इस पे. एग्जैक्टली exactly वो वाला वर्ड था इसमें. आई जस्ट शो यू, इट विल लेट मी कम. नॉट दिस. सी दिस. Okay, first one is discretionary, which relies on qualitative. Qualitative मतलब not rule based. Quality मतलब your prediction quality of this is this. And second is systematic, which is I thought rule based. It is trying to find out some anomalies which are inconsistent. Basically, like for example, small cap outperform large cap kind of anomaly. But although ये दो words वेदस में properly थे, and that is rule based or systematic. कहाँ गया? This one. Systematic approach is more quantitative. We know it. And discussion is more qualitative. And ऊपर लिखा था qualitative वाले सारे कवर भी किए थे हमने लेक्चर में इसके डिटेल में. Based on your prediction, your judgment, and no rules will be applied over there. Okay, and that's the reason statement 2 was wrong. It would have been systematic and not discretionary. Okay, answer was A. Okay, किसका आंसर चेक करूं? सो मुकेश का आंसर राइट है, बट मुकेश ने एक्सप्रेशन नहीं दिया. मीत का आंसर चेक करता हूँ. दो आंसर है मेरे पास, एक मीत का है, एक और दीपाशा का है. तो दिस चैनल चेक मीत आंसर. मीत तुम्हारा आंसर अब तक चेक नहीं किया था ना?
सर ऑप्शन बी मतलब मेरा रॉन्ग है.
नहीं नहीं नहीं. अच्छा बट फिर लेट मी सी. Statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is wrong because information ratio could be used. Fine. I have to give you marks for this. Information ratio could be used. पॉजिटिव लिखा है कि नहीं लिखा है उसने? उसने पॉजिटिव नहीं लिखा है. ओके बट ठीक है. इन्फॉर्मेशन रेशियो कुड बी यूज टू गॉज, बट इन्फॉर्मेशन रेशियो अगर पॉजिटिव है, टी हैज बीन सक्सेसफुल. इन्फॉर्मेशन रेशियो नेगेटिव है, टी हैज बीन फेल्यूर. इफ शार्प रेशियो इज हायर देन शार्प रेशियो ऑफ एसए, the tactical asset allocation has been successful, and if sharp ratio has gone down below the sharp ratio of SA, tactical asset allocation has failed. But इससे मैं उसको 0.5 marks दूंगा. Okay, and statement 3 is wrong because IPS there is a range. Okay, fine. Another 0.5 marks for this, for rejecting the statement 3 properly. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Deviations are allowed within, between. Perfect. 0.5 मार्क्स मिलेगा रिजेक्ट करने का स्टेटमेंट 3, एंड 0.5 मार्क्स मिलेगा फॉर स्टेटमेंट 1 का जो तुमने एक पार्ट राइट मिला है. सो यू विल गेट 1 आउट ऑफ 3. So basically, it will be a 4 mark question. Suppose yeah, so it will be like 2 marks for selecting the right answer that you are going to lose, and then you'll get 0.5 out of 2 for the like the explanation of the part. Okay, so you lose over here, but you get this over here. So you get 0.5 out of 4 marks. ठीक है मीत?
Yes, sir.
एक दीपाशा का आंसर करता हूँ कॉपी. और मैं तुम्हारा डाउट में देखता हूँ, कल देखता कल मुझे सुबह पिंग करना. He had asked me some doubts. Statement 1 is correct because sharp ratio is appropriately measures whether TA had superior risk. अरे बट दीपाशा इसमें एक्सप्लेन करना है तुम्हें. तुमने यही कॉपी किया ना दीपाशा? म्यूट.
Yes,
तुमने
sir.
यही कॉपी किया. तो ये कॉपी करके यू विल नॉट गेट मार्क्स. तुम्हें एक्सप्लेन करना है कैसे राइट है. यू हैव टू राइट से TA is successful, TA is value adding, sharp ratio would increase, and if TA is not value adding, the sharp ratio would decrease. So
Yeah.
although the statement 1 is right, she gets 2 on 2 for this, but for explanation for statement 1, I will cut the 0.5 marks as of now. Statement 3 is incorrect, must be within perfect, and statement 2 का उसने कुछ लिखा नहीं है. So for the explanation, I will give her 1 out of 2. Clear? So she gets 3 out of 4. Statement 1 का explanation was not like proper. She didn't explain about what would happen to sharp ratio if TA is successful or TA is failure. And statement 3 was perfect. Statement 2 didn't mention it, so I'm going to give her 1 out of 2 for the explanation. Clear, Vipasha? Okay. Yeah, Rishikesh, go on.
So can we say that the Sharpe ratio of SA works as a benchmark with comparing the SA of tactical asset allocation with that of strategic asset allocation?
Come again.
The Sharpe ratio of strategic asset allocation can work as a benchmark when comparing the Sharpe ratio of tactical asset allocation with that of strategic asset allocation.
Sorry, come again. Means sharp ratio of what will set as a benchmark?
Sharpe ratio of strategic asset allocation will work as a benchmark when comparing the Sharpe ratio of tactical asset allocation with that of strategic asset allocation.
सेम ही बोल रहे हो मतलब बेंचमार्क. तो मुझे लगा कुछ तीसरा तुम बेंचमार्क बोल रहे हो. नहीं, तो इट्स लाइक सेम. दीपाशा का आंसर ही है ना.
Okay.
ये इट्स सेम. appropriately measures. तुम्हें ये मेंशन करना था कि will it increase or will it go down. So if it is successful, then it will increase, and if it is failure, sharp ratio will go down. ठीक है, बेंचमार्क है, बट तुम्हें
Yes, yes.
बताना कि like Nifty is a benchmark, so my portfolio has outperformed Nifty. I mean, if the returns of the portfolio, if sharp ratio of my portfolio is higher than the sharp ratio of Nifty, if my portfolio has done a proper tactical asset allocation. Okay, so वो मेंशन करना कि sharp ratio will increase or go down. And her answer is Zaini's answer. Discrete is based on macroeconomic variables are interpreted to earn returns. TA is defined as deviation from SA to exploit short term. समझ में नहीं आया मुझे. Except the statement 1 is correct. Statement 1 is
Basically, like I gave the correct answer for statement 2 and 3.
deviations from SA to exploit short term is pricing to an extra. But then why statement 3 is incorrect? Within the limits, why नहीं ना? Are you getting my
Okay.
point? Like,
Yeah.
from के जगह it should have been within. ये word आया नहीं. So you don't get that mark. And it's based on how macroeconomic variables are interpreted to earn returns. But basically it is, ये जो ऑप्शन नंबर बी में था, जिसके का सिस्टमैट क्या था, रूल बेस्ड सिस्टमैटिक TA should have been used. Discretionary is based on how macroeconomic variables are interpreted to earn. हाँ ठीक है. How they are interpreted to earn returns qualitatively. Okay, so
Okay.
qualitatively word I need यहाँ पे था कोई भी monitor policy etc. But that is not going to be following any rules. It is going to be qualitative assessment of this. Yeah. You're copying this. Yeah. Exactly ये वाला word. तुमने बराबर लिखा था macroeconomic variables interpreted qualitative. That means not following any rules. Judgmental kind of a thing.
Okay.
Okay, so a qualitative word I नहीं. Yeah, I agree with this, but no rule based, qualitative, not quantitative. So I'll give 0.5 marks for this, but quality word I नहीं actually, so I can't give that 0.5 marks also.
Okay.
2 out of 2 for selecting right answer A, but 0 out of 2 for the explanation. Within अगर आता था I would have given maybe 1 mark for this. But within word INE and इसमें qualitative word INE. Those were important words.
Okay.
All right, a ninth answer was A. I think it was possible to get 4 on 4 over here for this. Actually, it is possible to get 3 on 3 over here. चलो लास्ट में मैं बोलता हूँ चलो एक ये जो मार्क था वो कट हो सकता है तो 3 on 4 3 on 3 एंड इसमें हमने कितना बोला था 3 on 6 so 3 3 and 3 that's 9 out of 4 3 7 and 13 9 out of 13 was very well possible in today's exam. All right, answer of this was E. Was an easy question.